Hello,
everybody, and welcome. Today we are talking with Charles B. Ticker, mediator and estate litigator. And Charles, I have a question for you. There's a really common perception out there that lawyers sometimes get in the way of settlement. Maybe there's a bit of a conflict of interest there. Maybe they're using their retainers from litigation files to make a down payment on a Ferrari. What's your impression about that? Do lawyers actually get in the way of file settling?
Well, I think there's a misconception out there that all lawyers drive Ferraris. I'm sure some do, but I think they're certainly in the minority. And I think there's also a misconception that lawyers get in the way of settlement. Yes, some lawyers perhaps take certain approach to files that are not helpful to getting cases settled. But in my experience, it's not lawyers that get in the way of settlement typically. It's the client, and the client who, first of all, has unrealistic expectations of what his or her case is worth, and also the client who has the resources to litigate, because you need tremendous economic resources, or perhaps they're in a contingency situation where they're not feeling the pain, so they'll promote the fight and keep on going. So I wouldn't say lawyers get in the way in settlement. However, lawyers have a large role to play in getting cases settled, and that is they have a duty, not only a role, they have a duty by the rules of professional conduct to encourage clients to settle, to advise clients of alternative dispute resolution methods such as mediation. And that is something that I think most lawyers today appreciate. It's taken some time. Yes, go ahead.
So why is there this perception? I mean, you're at a cocktail party and you overhear, two people, whether they're in a nasty, dispute over an estate or whatever it is, and they'll be sniping. If we only didn't have the darn lawyers involved, we would have had to settle a long time ago. Like, why do you think that is? Is it that they're just deflecting blame for their own, lack of interest in settling? Or I don't know. I'm leaving the question to you. Why is there that common perception?
Well, it's easy to blame someone else for your own difficulties or your own situation. I think people that are involved in these types of emotional disputes, they're basically unable to handle the situation, so they're looking for some way to deflect, and so there'll be just some degree of transference there, like and blaming their opposing side, the sibling that they're having a fight with. That will extend to blaming the sibling's lawyer. Oh, it's my sister and brother's lawyer. He or she's causing all the problems, and that's why we haven't settled. And I think when faced with a client like that, I think it's incumbent on counsel to bring the client back to focusing on what the real issues are. And, the issues typically are not the lawyer. The issues are the issues. And what can we do to put this dispute to bed and have you move on with your life? So I think when a client says that, or when they're blaming lawyers, what they're saying is, I can't fix my problem. I'm going to blame somebody else. And really what I think a mediator or what mediation can do is get the parties to sort of focus on the dispute and sort of assist the parties in finding ways to resolve their dispute, without judges, without lawyers. And that's why I always stress in mediation to the clients, today's your day. Yes, the lawyers are here to advise you, but I want to hear from the clients. It's up to the clients to settle the case.
So I think part of the issue also is that there's this perception of a conflict of interest. There's this apparent conflict of interest because if the lawyer can, prolong the litigation, like maybe like in Dickens' Bleak House, that goes on for many years, then they'll not only be able to buy his or her Ferrari, but also, a mansion to go with it. I guess the truth is probably lawyers are busy enough with other files that that's the last thing they would need to do, is it not?
Well, I think there is that perception out there, but I don't think it's necessarily the case that it makes more economic sense to drag out the litigation. I think most of the good counsel that I work with, both as a counsel and as a mediator, they have lots of work, and they are all focused on helping the client and making helping the client settle the case sooner than later. And I really don't believe that there is this conflict where lawyers are just trying to milk the file for billing. So yes, I'm sure there are some lawyers that do that, but I think the vast majority in my experience are truly focused on what's best for the client. I really
All right.
believe that.
All right, thank you very much. There you have it, Charles B. Ticker, mediator and estate litigator. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.